Hi everyone, I hope you are all feeling great today. We are here to present our client, EcoOil, the fundamental requirements for its successful internationalization. First of all, let me introduce a business model canvas aiming at positioning EcoOil on the market and being our starting point when looking for the most efficient strategy for our clients. It gathers all the different criteria that make EcoOil unique and competitive and spot the potential dangers to avoid. I will then look deeper into EcoOil's specific advantage and why, on a 5-year time frame, we should prioritize those aspects. First, we have to work on the idea that the process of production and consumption is 100% sustainable because not only do we have a positive impact on the environment, but we also propose an alternative to the fossil fuel energy by recycling biowaste and create green energy that every car driver can use. We can reach with this proposition a lot of environmental conscious consumers, whether they are individuals or companies. Also, the implementation and production processes are really accessible. Oil price increase is causing a strong and growing investment in plants that produce bioethanol for the automotive industry, especially since environmental law require adding 5% ethanol to gasoline in huge markets such as the US. So EcoOil is a competitive company with its technology that follows the current market trend and can easily attract investors for its launch and internationalization.
Thank you, Anaïs. Let's have in consideration that EcoOil's value proposition is the creation of renewable liquid fuels, disruptive and innovative technology that jumps out of the box. But we need to take control over it as it is with big assets. Taking that into consideration, there are three factors we need to consider in the short term in order to position our brand and technology in the local market. First, key resources. EcoOil depends on the extraction of ethanol in order to produce gasoline, water, and gas. We should focus and refer to ethanol as our key resource, and it can be obtained from corn, wheat, barley, potatoes, or beets. For key partners, a commercial alliance between EcoOil's players in the agro-industrial sector as consumption sector must be taken into consideration in order to supply our machines with raw materials in exchange of a percentage of production at a preferred price, but at the same time maintaining a good profit. We want and we need to make our way into local markets. In order to gain more visibility, we can partner up with entrepreneurial projects and start making noise about our value proposition. Also, as Mikko mentioned before, we can partner up with racing teams, not to supply them with our product, but for testing purposes, first instance. For customer segments, there are several sectors who can benefit from our technology: supply chain, construction, residential, energy. The list can go on and on. So focus on the ones that are easy to supply and the ones that are most profitable.
To talk about the location choices. For this, we did some benchmark with companies that provide similar services as those of EcoOils. And we divided this into two, the supplier locations and the customer locations. As you can see in the map, the main suppliers are located in North America, Latin America, and Asia. Also, this is consistent with the geographical sales. Most of them are located in South America, Mexico, and the United States. The facts that we consider when expanding are related, for example, in the United States and Canada, which are at the North America, are related to the laws that in the United States mainly require adding 5% ethanol to all gasoline. Also in Canada, who doesn't produce any ethanol and wants to boost its production. It has an objective since 2010 to commercialize gasoline mixed with 10% ethanol to reduce greenhouse emissions. We have another big participant, which is Brazil, that since 1980 has been using ethanol as the main fuel for 80% of its automobile fleet, and today produces more than 1,700 million liters of ethanol from sugarcane. And finally, another player that is important would be Japan, which allows 3% ethanol to be mixed in gasoline, forcing it to import 1.8 billion liters a year. Now let's go to the financial plan. What is the target? The target is to reach 35% of the operating margin by 2030. This is going to be achieved through strategic alliances with suppliers, by leveraging R&D activities with government funding and with the social responsible investors market. And this would serve as a guarantee for the company's long-term growth. What are going to be the key financial activities? Well, first we have to get some input, which is the material we need to convert to ethanol at a low cost. We are suggesting 20 cents per dollar per kilo of sources of input by partnering with global companies such as Nestlé, Kellogg, General Mills, Frito-Lay, Smokers, etc., who are in need to dispose millions of tons of organic waste, as well as reducing their carbon footprint in order to comply with the UN Sustainable Development Goals. We would serve as a collector of residue by charging a little fee, and also obtaining input materials which could boost eco-oil's worldwide presence. Also, financial aid is needed directly from governments, and we would take advantage of governments that impose restrictions through environmental laws that limit fossil fuel consumptions. This is where eco-oils should establish. And finally, the investment in R&D and innovation is a must. Therefore, we are suggesting an IPO by 2025 in order to raise money from capital and debt markets. And we are suggesting a structure of capital of 75% coming from capital markets, 5% coming from loans and credit institutions, and 20% coming from debt.
In addition to that, something more pragmatic would be needed, and we are proposing to entering one of the big motor racing competitions such as World Rally Championship. Competing in the hot weather in Corsica, in an extreme cold weather in Swedish Lapland, will prove that extra bit of confidence for the big audience that this technology is actually a viable option for the fossil fuel industry. We should also be using the Swedish country brand of being a green, effective, fair society that adds that extra level of credibility for eco-oil.
Thank you everyone for your participation, eco-oil team. I hope you feel all the potential of your idea and feel confident about the success of your company. We look forward to helping you implement this